Hello students, in this video we complete the last lecture, development of the tongue. We were on the development of muscles of tongue. The muscles of tongue, they derive from occipital myotomes, and the nerve of the occipital myotomes is the hypoglossal nerve, that is the 12th cranial nerve. So all the muscles of the tongue, they are derived from the occipital myotomes, that's why supplied by the hypoglossal nerve. Except palatoglossus, which is supplied by the cranial part of the accessory nerve through pharyngeal plexus. Now we come to the anomalies of the tongue. The tongue may be very small, known as the microglossia. It may be too large, known as the macroglossia. Okay, one condition is known as the tongue tie or ankyloglossia. What happens in this tongue tie mein? In the tongue tie, the anterior end of the tongue, it may attach या anchor with the floor of the primitive mouth. It is attached to the floor of the mouth by frenulum lingui. Frenulum lingui. The apical part of the tongue is anchored या attached to the floor of the mouth by frenulum lingui. So if it attached, it will lead to the difficulty in speech due to the restriction of the movement of the tongue. So this is about the tongue tie. Now we come to the next topic, that is known as the development of the thyroid gland. Thyroid gland development of thyroid gland. Thyroid gland develops, its development starts during the 3rd week of intrauterine life. It is endodermal in origin. Endodermal thickening in the midline of the floor of the primitive pharynx. This is the endodermal thickening. In the floor of the primitive pharynx, one endodermal thickening will lie just between the tuberculum impar, and this is the tuberculum impar, and this is the copula. Okay, so here is the thickening, endodermal thickening will occur in the midline of the floor of the developing pharynx between the tuberculum impar and the copula. One endodermal thickening will appear, and this thickening, what happens to this thickening? This thickening grows downward. Okay, it is depressed and it will go down. This will go down, and that depression, down outpouching is known as the thyroidiverticulum. And that diverticulum is known as the thyroglossal duct, So this duct, first, as you see here, this is the tuberculum impar, this is the hypobranchial eminence ka copula part, and from here this is the depression known as the outpouching is occur, and that known as the thyroglossal duct. As you see here, this thyroglossal duct will pass downward. It grows downward and then it will come into the neck region. First it passes, this bone is the hyoid bone. This bone is hyoid bone. First this will passes in front of the hyoid bone. Okay, then it slight inclinate to one side. Okay, and then it winds rounds, so it becomes the retrohyoid, and finally it will descend again downward, comes in front of the, this is the thyroid cartilage, and reach to its exact site. Okay, after reaching to its exact site in the neck region, the terminal end of this duct becomes solid. It becomes solid, and soon after it becomes bifid end of the thyroglossal duct. And these bifid ends, the cells becomes proliferate to form the two lobes, right lobe and left lobe of the thyroid gland. Okay, what happens along with this? In this developing thyroid gland, one important structure comes in relation is the caudal pharyngeal complex. Caudal pharyngeal complex. This is caudal pharyngeal complex. It comes in relation to this developing lobes of the thyroid gland, and this caudal pharyngeal complex, it will arise from the fourth pharyngeal pouch. Okay, and the cells of this will give rise to the parafollicular C cells. Parafollicular C cells will develop from this caudal pharyngeal complex, which will arise from the fourth pharyngeal pouch. And in the lower animals, this caudal pharyngeal, this is the ultimate structure which will give rise to the ultimobranchial body in the lower animals. So in the development of the thyroid gland in the human, along with the thyroglossal duct, caudal pharyngeal complex, which is coming from the fourth pharyngeal pouch, also play a role. What it will give rise? It will give rise to the parafollicular C cells in the thyroid gland. Okay. After the formation, the connecting link between the gland and the floor. This is the floor of the mouth for pharynx, and this is the thyroid gland. This connecting link, what was that? Thyroglossal duct. It will get obliterated and disappear, and the proximal opening is known as the foramen cecum. Okay, it becomes, later on it becomes a small pit on the dorsum of the tongue as a foramen cecum. In 50% of the people, a pyramidal lobe, this is the elevation. Okay, this is known as the pyramidal lobe is present. What it is? It is differentiated from the, this is the thyroglossal duct which gets obliterated, and the distal end of the thyroglossal duct is differentiate into the pyramidal lobe. And sometimes this pyramidal lobe is attached to the, this will get attached to the hyoid bone. Hyoid bone यहाँ है आपकी, and this pyramidal lobe, this here is also pyramidal lobe is present, and sometimes this pyramidal lobe is attached with the hyoid bone which lie above with the soft tissue, and that soft tissue is known as levator, L-A-N-D-U, glanduli thyroidae. Okay, So this is about the development of the thyroid gland. The thyroid gland develops from it is endodermal in origin. When it will develop in the 3rd week of intrauterine life, where it will develop, a small endodermal thickening will appear where in the floor of the primitive pharynx between the tuberculum, this is the tuberculum impar and this is the hypobranchial eminence ka copula part. So one endodermal thickening will appear here, and this endodermal thickening will go downward as a thyroglossal duct. This duct first it will go downward. First it will passes in front of the hyoid bone, then it wind round that, then again comes forward and goes downwards, comes in front of the thyroid cartilage and reach to its destination. And by reaching at its destination, the terminal part of that duct becomes solid and becomes bifid, divided into 2 parts, and both the parts they will proliferate to form the 2 lobes of the thyroid gland. Both the lobes of the thyroid glands, they are connected with, this is the one lobe, this is the another lobe. Both lobes are connected with each other by the midline structure known as isthmus. Okay, and along with this there is a contribution of the caudal pharyngeal complex in the formation of parafollicular seed cells in the thyroid gland. After formation of the gland, this thyroglossal duct will disappear and obliterate soon, but the distal end of this thyroglossal duct will differentiate into the pyramidal lobe. This pyramidal lobe, sometimes it is attached to the hyoid bone with the help of a soft tissue structure known as the levator glanduli thyroidi. Okay, now we come to its anomalies, clinical correlations. The anomalies in the position of the thyroid gland. The important anomalies in the position of the thyroid gland are, number 1 is a lingual thyroid. Number 1 is what happens, the thyroid tissue, it may form anywhere along the course of this is the thyroglossal duct course. Okay, so thyroid tissue, it may develop anywhere in the course of the thyroglossal duct, but the commonest site of this tissue is in the tongue. This is which is present in the tongue. This type of the thyroid tissue is known as the lingual thyroid. This tissue present below the mucosa of the dorsum of the tongue. Sometimes it is present within the musculature of the tongue known as the intralingual thyroid. Sometimes it is present above the hyoid bone known as the suprahyoid thyroid. Sometimes it may develop below the hyoid bone known as infrahyoid thyroid. Okay, so these are the abnormal positions of the thyroid tissue. It may present anywhere during the course of the thyroglossal duct. It may be lingual thyroid if it is present beneath the mucosa of the dorsum of the tongue. It may be intralingual thyroid if it is present within the musculature of the tongue. It may be suprahyoid if this tissue is developed above the hyoid bone. It may be infrahyoid if this tissue developed below the hyoid bone. Commonest one is the lingual thyroid. Now we come to the next anomaly position. Next anomalous condition is known as the ectopic thyroid. What does it mean? If the small masses of thyroid tissue present at abnormal sites known as the ectopic thyroid. For example, it may develop in the larynx, it may develop in the trachea, it may develop in the esophagus, it may develop in the pericardium, or it may develop in the pleura. So if small masses of thyroid tissue, they develop at the abnormal sites known as the ectopic thyroid. Now we come to the third clinical condition, thyroglossal cyst or fistula. In normal condition, whole of the thyroglossal duct, after the formation of the thyroid gland, it will obliterate and disappear. But sometimes it may persist. Okay, so that in the form of a cyst. That condition is known as thyroglossal cyst. Okay, and if this thyroglossal cyst, thyroglossal duct, it persists throughout its course, and opening will occur through the foramen cecum, that is known as a thyroglossal fistula. So if cyst, what is known as cyst? If thyroglossal duct persists at some place, it will not disappear or obliterate. It may persist at anywhere during its course. That is known as there is a formation of cyst known as thyroglossal cyst. Next condition is the accessory thyroid. What does it mean? Sometimes small nodules of the thyroid tissue, they are found in the close proximity of the thyroid gland. जो आपकी thyroid gland है, उसके close proximity में small nodules of the tissue. In a close proximity of the thyroid gland, small tissues, nodules of the thyroid tissue, they may develop, they may found. This is known as the accessory thyroid. But they are very small, so they cannot maintain the normal function of the thyroid if by chance we have to remove the thyroid gland. They cannot maintain the normal function of the thyroid gland. They are known as the accessory thyroid. So this is about